Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host Mark Guido, and we're spending a few nights here in central Arizona's beautiful Verde Valley. Come along. This episode of Grand Adventure is sponsored by etrailer.com, where you'll find thousands of products for RVing, towing, camping, outdoor recreation, vehicles, boating, and more. Use the link down below in the video description to shop eTrailer with Grand Adventure. Our campsite for 4 nights in Dead Horse Ranch State Park is in the perfect central location for exploring all that the Verde Valley has to offer. Located at approximately 3,300 feet of elevation, Dead Horse Ranch State Park covers 423 acres, with 10 miles of hiking trails, 150 campsites and several picnic areas, along with 23 group camping sites. Our water and 50, 30, 20 amp electrical site in the park's red-tailed hawk loop costs $30 per night. The park also offers horseback riding via a stable right on site. The Verde River passes through the park, where fishing is available in several scenic man-made ponds. Visible right from Dead Horse Ranch State Park is the fascinating historic splendor of Tuzigoot National Monument, which preserves a 2 to 3 story, 110-room Pueblo ruin on the summit of a limestone and sandstone ridge 120 feet above the Verde River floodplain that was built between the years 1125 and 1400 AD. Tuzigoot was excavated from 1933 to 1935 by archaeologists from the University of Arizona, with funding from the Federal Civil Works Administration and Works Project Administration. In 1935 to 1936, with additional federal funding, the ruins were prepared for public display, and a Pueblo Revival-style museum and visitor center was constructed. Franklin D. Roosevelt designated Tuzigoot ruins as a U.S. National Monument in 1939. And the site was first listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1966. ruins at Tuzigoot incorporate very few doors. Instead, the inhabitants use ladders, accessed by trapdoor-type openings in the roofs, to enter each room. Just a few miles away near Camp Verde is another national monument, Montezuma Castle, just off Interstate 17 at exit 289. It requires only about a 1/3 mile paved trail from the parking lot to the ruins. About 400,000 tourists visit the site each year, which is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day of the year except for Christmas Day. Montezuma Castle comprises 5 stories and about 20 rooms of ancient cliff dwellings built by the Sinagua people over the course of 3 centuries, between approximately 1100 and 1425 AD. Several Hopi clans and Yavapai communities trace their ancestries to early immigrants from the Montezuma Castle Beaver Creek area. Contrary to its name, Montezuma Castle has no connection to Montezuma, nor was it a castle. The dwelling was abandoned more than 40 years before the famed Aztec explorer Montezuma was born, and the dwelling functioned more like a prehistoric high-rise apartment complex than a castle. Montezuma Castle is one of the best preserved cliff dwellings in North America, in part because of its ideal placement in a natural alcove that protects it from exposure to the elements. Access was most likely permitted by a series of portable ladders, which made it difficult for enemy tribes to penetrate the natural defense of the vertical barrier. It also protected the pre-Columbian Sinagua from the annual flooding of Beaver Creek. We'll be right back to exploring the area, including the towns of Cottonwood, Jerome, and Sedona, right after a brief message from our valued video sponsor, eTrailer. Whether you need products for your RV, boat, trailer, vehicle, hunting and fishing, off-roading, and more, our video sponsor, eTrailer, has you covered. Best of all, you'll find over 100 US-based enthusiast customer service reps ready to help via phone, chat, or email, both before and after the sale. These folks have used themselves the products that you're shopping for, and you won't find a more knowledgeable team anywhere to help you with your outdoor project. Click the link down below in the video description to shop etrailer.com with Grand Adventure. Dead Horse Ranch State Park is located in the town of Cottonwood, at the heart of the Verde Valley. While the town's outskirts feature RV traveler essentials, like a Walmart Supercenter and a Home Depot, the Old Town Cottonwood tourist area is absolutely charming. Visible from our state park campground, the unique historic mining town of Jerome sits high on Cleopatra Hill on the shoulder of Mingus Mountain at an elevation of 5,000 feet overlooking the Verde Valley. We visited Jerome once before, right as the COVID pandemic was exploding in early April 2020. At that time, most businesses were closed and the streets deserted. Happily, that's not the case today. Supported in its heyday by rich copper mines, Jerome was home to more than 10,000 people in the 1920s. As of the 2020 census, its population had dwindled to 464. In the late 19th century, the United Verde mine, developed by William A. Clark, extracted ore bearing copper, gold, silver, and other metals from the ground here. Along with the adjacent United Verde Extension UVX mine, owned by James Douglas Jr., the copper deposits discovered in Jerome's vicinity were among the richest ever found. As the ore deposits ran out, the mines closed for good in 1953, and the population dwindled to fewer than 100. Tourism and retail saved the town from oblivion, and today it's home to art galleries, coffee houses, restaurants, a state park, and a local museum devoted to mining history. Revisiting the Verde Valley has allowed us to return to our beautiful boondocking site from April 2020, just west of Sedona, along Forest Road 525C. This site was legal at the time, but overuse has since prompted the Forest Service to implement camping restrictions that prohibit dispersed camping in this area outside of designated sites. Speaking of overuse, as beautiful as the Sedona area is, the town itself has become overrun with visitors. Just getting into town meant negotiating a 20-minute traffic jam to go only 3/4 of a mile, created solely by congestion. Traffic mitigation measures implemented since our last visit consisting of what must be the densest concentration of traffic circles that we've encountered anywhere, appear to have exacerbated the problem rather than solved it. It frustrated me to the point that I don't think I'll ever feel the need to return. We'll share another terrific Verde Valley campground with you right after we take a quick ad break to pay the bills. So stay tuned. So once again, it seems that our plans were made to be changed. We were supposed to be leaving today to spend Thanksgiving up on Lake Powell at Lone Rock Beach outside of Page, Arizona. However, Mrs. Grand Adventure's car is still having its transmission replaced in the Phoenix area, so it made no sense to drive away from Phoenix. Unfortunately, the state park campground was full for the holiday weekend. So the advantage to you is you get to see another Verde Valley campground, and that's the appropriately named Sedona View. Sedona View, located off State Route 260, exceeded our expectations with a friendly and welcoming staff, 189 well-spaced and attractively landscaped full hookup campsites, and another 12 dry campsites. We managed to score pull-through site 127 at the last minute to accommodate our need to remain in the Cottonwood area a bit longer than planned through the Thanksgiving holiday. Cooking a full, proper Thanksgiving dinner in an RV can be a challenge, but not an insurmountable one. We opt to cook a turkey breast to fit in our oven rather than a full turkey, but I foolishly purchased one with bone-in this year. Boneless works better, but I managed to force this bone-in turkey breast into our RV oven with a crowbar. Okay, everything seems to be intact. After that little bit of time travel, it is now early January in Salt Lake City. We ended up we had only planned on being in Sedona View for 2 nights. We ended up being there for 8 nights while we waited for Patricia's car to be ready. Ran into some problems and we decided to just leave the car there and continue on our way back home. That killed our plans to go to Lone Rock Beach on Lake Powell. That killed our revised plans to go to St. George. So instead we made it straight back here to Salt Lake City. And this episode actually now concludes our 2024 travel season. It was an amazing year for Grand Adventure. We towed for over 10,000 miles. We did probably about 22 or 23,000 miles total on the truck, just with going out and exploring things around the areas where we were camping. It was an amazing year, and coming up next week, we're going to highlight the best of the Grand Adventure season of 2024. So if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, there is no better time than right now for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a Grand Adventure, which we premiere right here every Wednesday evening. We'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. Understand, it is extremely important to us that if you liked this episode from the Verde Valley, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comment section where we always love to hear from you each and every week. So until next Wednesday, with the best of 2024 camping, please remember life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.